What up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel once again. And today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to properly remove and install drivers using a program called Display Driver Uninstaller. Now, as you may know, as of yesterday, I think I got the updates today, but as of yesterday, Nvidia released a new set of driver updates, version 581.29, which was released September 10th. And I've noticed that there has been a lot of people within the community having problems with Nvidia driver updates. And as of lately, Nvidia drivers have sucked. Now, I may be one of the lucky ones or the luckiest person in the planet, but I've always used Nvidia GPUs. I've only purchased a couple of AMD GPUs, and with neither of them I've ever encountered driver-related issues or glitches based on drivers. I know that a lot of people have been experienced that. So I'm only going to teach you this because it is necessary to know and because you shouldn't over-install on top of previous drivers. I think that's been an issue since like over a decade ago. And ever since then, I've been using Display Driver Uninstaller. So why you should do it this way and not allow the Nvidia app to actually update your drivers automatically? It is because every time you reinstall a driver, old things from the previous drivers stay in the registry and can conflict with new driver updates. Now, people would say, just use the clean install option on the Nvidia driver installation, and that will get rid of most of your problems. But the problem is using clean install does not do that. What it does is it resets everything to defaults and it leaves everything dumped from previous drivers into your registry, which can cause issues like that. And also doing it this way ensures that you have a clean enough system for you to install new drivers. Now, in order to do this the proper way, you have to look into some settings in Windows, which I'm going to show you right now. You're going to go into the search bar and you're going to type in change device installation settings. Then you click on it and then it says, do you want to automatically download manufacturer apps for your devices? And you click no, because of the fact that once you use Display Driver Uninstaller and you go back, because we're going to have to go into safe mode. Once you go back from safe mode, Windows will automatically pre-install some sort of driver. And then if you install your new drivers like that, it's going to pile up and cause all sorts of issues, including the issues that are presented among the community. And so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go and type in on Google DDU, and then you're going to go into the guru3d.com. And to be on the safe side, always do this every new driver update. Every new driver update, you look into the Display Driver Installer, and if it has the same version, you can just re-download it again for reassurance. Or if this is your first time installing DDU, then what you do is you go into the download mirror, and then it's going to give you a counter and then download the Display Driver Uninstaller software. Now, after you're done downloading the Guru 3D's DDU, it's going to be on a zip folder. You can just go ahead and right click and extract all, and just click off show extracted files. You can actually show extracted files, but I'm going to do it this way so I can show you step by step. You press extract, a new folder is going to pop up. You're going to click on it, and DDU is going to be in this section right here, and it's going to be a 7-zip folder. If you haven't downloaded 7-zip, I will leave the links in the description below for you to actually install 7-zip. And after you install 7-zip, what you do is you right click on it. Actually, you don't right click on it. You just double click on it. 7-zip self extractor, after you install it, is going to show up, and you're going to extract it to whatever folder it is, and it's going to bring you DDU version 18.1.3.1. Then you click on this, and this is your Display Driver Uninstaller. Now, before this next step, because we're gonna go into safe mode, before that step, what you're gonna do is gonna open the program. The program is gonna tell you that you're not in safe mode. And in the disclaimer, it says before using, depending on your problems, it can help or make things worse. I mean, this program has improved over the years, so there's not a lot of like breaking that can happen. Or although I've heard horror stories on Reddit about it, but it happened a long time ago. You should always have a backup. That happens with every single update, including Windows updates. And read the licenses, read me NTOS, and you should also run this always on safe mode. So you click OK, and then it's gonna take you to the general options. In this options, you're gonna go into Nvidia specific options if you're using an Nvidia GPU. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna remove physics if you're running a 40 series and below GPU. If you have a 50 series GPU, 50 series does not support physics anymore. So you don't have to worry about that, clicking that. But if you're running dual GPU and you want to uninstall the drivers for both GPUs, then you uninstall physics if you have a physics dedicated card. And AMD is the same way. You remove the AMD driver folders. You remove the audio bus, which is pretty much the HD audio files. And for Intel, just leave it at default because it's already has all the settings clicked up. I'm not sure what NPU is. I've never used an Intel GPU, but I've used AMD GPU. And if you remove this, once you install it, once you do a fresh install, then it'll install everything back and reset everything to default. Now, once you close it, it says DDU has detected that you're not in safe mode. It's telling you that you need to be in safe mode in order to use this program. So what you're going to do is you're going to quit this program. And what you're going to do is type in the search bar, msconfig. And this is going to pop up, system configuration. And what you're going to do is going to go into boot and you're going to go into safe mode. Now it's going to click minimal. But if you are running the account control settings on an account that's online, then I suggest you actually drop safe boot with networking so that you can actually log in using the internet. And just as a safety measure, because last time I did it through Windows 11, it was a whole hassle. There was an error that stated that I couldn't log in even if I had network. And I had to do a whole bunch of stuff because it got stuck in a loophole on safe boot. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think that error has been fixed. But that what you're going to do is install minimal if you're not using network, and then hit apply. And then you hit OK. And once you restart, the system is going to boot into safe mode. So I'll see you in safe mode. Okay, so we're here at BSOD Studios. And we are actually on safe mode. So if you want to come closer and take a look, we're going to go into the download folder where we downloaded Display Driver Uninstaller. And what we're going to do is going to go into the file again. And then we are going to open Display Driver Uninstaller. And what we're going to do is we're going to run GPU on the drop down. It's going to show AMD because, you know, it's the first GPU on the list, even though it states Nvidia, but you know, it goes probably through alphabetical order. But anyways, you select Nvidia if it's Nvidia, or you select AMD or Intel if you're having an Intel. But since in my case it's Nvidia, you're gonna go into Nvidia and you're gonna press clean and do not restart. And the reason why I'm saying clean and do not restart is because we're gonna physically restart the system so that you go back into regular Windows. So we're gonna hit this. Your system might freeze a little bit for a couple of minutes, but that's completely normal in this program. And We're gonna wait until this says that the job is complete. So we're waiting, and it's starting a registry cleanup, as you could see here. And then we finally removing the audio controller, as you could see, and the HD audio drivers are being deleted. And once everything is complete, you're going to be able to click on this. So this is not done yet. It's gonna remove everything. It's still removing stuff. And now, once it says clean uninstall completed, you could exit the program now, and you're gonna go back into the search bar, back into system configuration, and press normal startup. And click apply, click OK, and then now you're going to restart the system. Okay, so now that we're back on regular Windows, you're gonna see that it looks like safe mode, but it's not really safe mode, it's actual Windows. And what you're gonna wanna do is go into the Nvidia website, and then you go into the drivers. And once in drivers, you look for your graphics card here, make sure it's on GeForce. Then in my case, it's RTX 4090. So I'm gonna find it. And once it finds the drivers, it's gonna go into studio drivers or game ready drivers. If you're doing like video editing or like graphics designing, then obviously it's the studio driver. But since you're gonna be gaming, which I guarantee you're gonna be gaming, you use the game ready drivers. So you press on view, and it's gonna give you a couple of options to do it through automatic updates, through the Nvidia app, or whatever. Just choose the manual mode, and then once it downloads, you're gonna see your drivers here. You click on it, and it's gonna go into the package launcher, and it's gonna dump some files into your temp folder. And once this is done, the computer is looking like crap right now, but once the drivers install, it's gonna look completely normal. So we wait until this is done, and then it's gonna check the system compatibility. You choose graphics driver and Nvidia app, agree and continue. And then you could do Express, which installs all the necessary drivers plus the physics if you have a 40 series and below card, and then just click next, and then it's gonna wait until it installs. Okay, so now that the drivers finally installed, it's gonna ask you to create a shortcut to Nvidia. Do this if you want to, if not, that's fine. And then it's gonna ask you to restart. Now, for a fresh install, it's always gonna ask you to restart. So we're gonna do this, and then I'll see you on OBS. All right, now that we're back into normal Windows, as you can see, everything got fixed up. And what we're gonna do is gonna start the app for the first time, and it's gonna ask you to log in. Now, when it tells you select preferred driver, choose game ready and hit next. And this is a very important thing that can break your games, especially if you install recently the drivers. Nvidia has the option to optimize the games and creative applications. Cancel that, because what that's gonna do, it's gonna create setting files to all of your games and apps based on your system. And again, I don't like this idea that Nvidia should have total control over your game settings, because there's an example that I have, and it is Resident Evil 2 Remake. Any of the games that has the Resident Evil engine, it tends to have issues when you're optimizing the game. So to be on the safe side and to have no issues, just click this off. Do not opt in to optimize games and creative applications. Then hit next. And then it's your choice again if you want to enable the Nvidia overlay. If you're recording or taking screenshots using Nvidia, you can just leave this as default and then just hit next. And for now, for the video purposes, I'm not going to log in, and then just skip straight to app. But if you have an account, you can just go ahead and log in and do the whole 9 yards on that. Now, when it comes to settings, usually in graphics on global settings, there's this option called power management mode. There's a drop down, and what you're going to do is prefer maximum performance. Just leave everything alone, because if you're running 3D Mark, something like benchmark programs and 3D Mark and stuff, it's not going to calculate a proper benchmark if you don't leave these settings on default. But if you like your games to look at the highest quality possible, what you're going to do is quit the app, and you're going to right click on the Nvidia settings here and go into the old Nvidia control panel. You agree and continue since it's a freshly new install. And what you're going to do is you're going to go into manage 3D settings, and you're going to go into this couple of settings right here. In this area, you can go ahead and disallow negative LOD bias, which that does is that once you're far away into the level of detail, Nvidia is going to put a bias that's going to look almost like anisotropic filtering, like the sharpness of it, but it's going to look really sharp on the background with less detail. So you might want to just clamp it so that you could see all the detail as possible. If you feel like the performance is going down, then you go ahead and allow it. On texture filter quality, you can either put it in high performance mode, although I feel like the textures do change, especially in high performance mode. But if you want the highest quality of textures, Nvidia controls that as well. So you put it on high quality, or leave it like on quality, because it honestly looks better and it performs a lot better. Usually you can control the texture settings in the graphics on your game, on your specific game, which I recommend you doing that. And for texture filtering, there's a trilinear optimization. You click off on it and then leave everything else on auto. Now, in the G-Sync settings, if you want to set up the G-Sync settings, just make sure that you enable it for windowed and full screen applications, because what that's going to do is it's going to help activate G-Sync when you're using borderless window. Because if you're not using full screen mode and you don't have this option on, then G-Sync is not going to work. It's going to tear the screen apart like it usually does when you don't have V-Sync. And that's what it does. And then you click apply, and that's pretty much it in terms of clean installing your drivers and making sure that everything else works. You can click a game and it's going to catch files again. It's going to do pre-catching. You're going to have to pre-cache because every other game is going to be reset. Oh, before I forget, another setting that is very important is if you're using the latest version of DLSS, you go into the Nvidia app. Oh, now it's updating the Nvidia app version. It didn't do it before. But once it updates and it calculates whatever, you go into graphic settings and you go into program settings and make sure that you're using the DLSS override. What you do is you go into the global, because they just added the preset in global. So what you do is if you're going to use the new DLSS modes, then I suggest you go into the DLSS model presets, and then you use latest on everything: frame generation, ray reconstruction, and super resolution. That's going to make sure that it uses the latest drivers, the latest presets on DLSS and the latest presets on ray reconstruction, which would be transformer model. Not quite. It's got a specific preset, but it uses the latest ray reconstruction and the latest frame generation. You click apply, and that is it. You are done optimizing your games for the new DLSS titles and ensuring that everything in your drivers are working perfectly fine. If you're still having issues with new drivers, I suggest you roll back to the drivers that you are familiarized with and that they were working properly, and just hope and wait until new drivers come through. Now, this, what I just showed you, can actually improve your driver issues, but it's not always guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed in life. So obviously you're going to have to either roll back drivers if it's not working, or if you're using an Nvidia 5000 series card, then if you're having issues with it, then I suggest you roll back into the previous drivers until they fix those issues. So I think that just covers just about everything there is to know about freshly installing drivers. And make sure that your computer is running in optimal conditions and you don't have conflicting drivers going on, and it gets rid of most of the garbage. So that's it for today. If you like this video, make sure you like this video and subscribe for more further content that I'm going to be making on debloating Windows and things like that to help people out, because in reality, these companies lately have been having a lot of oversight, and it is good to always have tech support outside of Nvidia and outside of AMD to be able to actually make sure that your computer is running in optimal condition and that you can enjoy your games without sacrificing the quality or like saying the game is shit because it doesn't take drivers or any type of issues relating driver issues. So that's it for today, and I hope to see you on the next one. Peace out.